Morning, everybody. We're going to do a cold exposure this morning, and I'm going to do it on a live because I really don't want to do it, but doing it on a live makes me really accountable. I was up pretty late last night having some fun with some friends, and I need this cellular exercise. So what I've got here is this 55-gallon plastic tub, and I took a water pump in my bathtub. It's actually inside around the corner, and you can see I'm here on just my apartment balcony, and I've managed to fill it up like a bath. This is actually slightly bigger than a bath because it's deeper. So cold exposures are really great for you for a lot of reasons, and but the thing I want to focus on today is talking about the vagus nerve and the autonomic nervous system, and also another measure called heart rate variability. But I really should get in here first. I like warming up, just getting my feet acclimated before I do the rest of myself. So you're gonna see me breathe a lot. It's kind of like doing a weight lift, like, and then you know, kind of tense up, and then you breathe out, and you just focus on breathing out this warm air. So give me a moment. There's always this fear. It's like you're about to jump off a cliff. I'm actually not even going to track how long I've been here this morning. I'm just going to hang out and talk. So you can see that there was an initial shock, but you can see I'm already pretty calmed down. My goal is to chill in here about 10 minutes today. So when you're doing cold exposure, you start getting fat loss benefits around 3 minutes and beyond. And you get really awesome mitochondrial benefits at 10 minutes and beyond. So why am I doing this today? I was hanging out with friends late last night, ate a bunch of candy and junk, and so I just wanted to stimulate my body to go ahead and gotta keep breathing to go ahead and burn all that off. But just to show you that also this is possible. So I was listening to a really cool podcast last night with the president of the Academy for Functional Medicine, which is really cool. And because that's what I do with FDN. And he was talking about digestion and amino acids and neurotransmitters. And he said that people take antacids and then they can't break down food properly. So even if you're eating the right foods, you don't get enough amino acids from them. So what are amino acids? So you got proteins, and then proteins break down into peptides, and then peptides breaking down into amino acids. And the amino acids are what you need not only to rearrange them and build them into other proteins to build your body up, but also for neurotransmitters. So what happens is people get put on an antacid, and then they get put on an antidepressant after that. So I thought that was some really, really cool stuff. And the other thing he said was that people get into a state of chronic disease, and then the autonomic nervous system becomes dysregulated. So there's a parasympathetic and sympathetic balance, and the parasympathetic is the rest and digest, and the sympathetic is the fight or flight one. And the sympathetic is the fight or flight one. And what happens is if you're stuck in sympathetic for too long, the sympathetic functions just get messed up. And so healing from especially a chronic disease
becomes not just a challenge of starting to get to that tough point in the cold exposure, man, where you start shivering and stuff, and then it, for a little bit, and then it goes away after that. So what happens is people get chronic disease, and then the autonomic nervous system becomes dysregulated, and even if you got them on the right supplements and stuff, their body still doesn't even digest stuff correctly, which is like, that was really crazy to me, that it all comes back to digestion and how we support that. So, you know, there's a lot of people out there, you know, oh, just take digestive enzymes or just take probiotics and stuff, and it's really, whew! It's really a whole equation. So, before you go out and take digestive enzymes, they also have HCl. I'd recommend at least, you know, ideally doing a lab test for H. pylori or other pathogens that would thrive in acidic environments. Because if you take something that allows pathogens that thrive in acidic environment and you give them more acid, then they proliferate and the condition you have gets way worse. So I'm going to sit up so I can just talk to you guys better. The condition you have gets way worse. So digestive enzymes are one thing you can do. Probiotics are another thing you can do to help you absorb more nutrition from your food. And then the other thing you can do is minerals, and consider B vitamin supplementation. So minerals like zinc and manganese are actually important for bioproduction, as well as manganese, as he said. So there's great mineral supplements you can get. They come in little droppers. They don't taste great. And I'd recommend something in a dropper over something that's in a pill, because of the way that pills are put together. There's a pretty popular guy out there. His name is Morley Robbins. And his premise is that our water is unfiltered, and all of these multivitamins have to be in a slush before they can be turned into a full. Oh, come on! Before they can be turned into a full, pill form vitamin. So that's his premise. And so I'd recommend a little dropper thing or something. But also, if you're consistently having issues or something, seek out a functional practitioner, and you'll find some great stuff. Good morning, Evan. We're doing a morning cold exposure and chatting about all kinds of fun stuff. So, tying back into the big topic of this live, what are some ways you can increase autonomic nervous system tone, or vagus nerve tone? And one of those ways is with cold exposure, which is super cool. So if you really want longevity and stuff, there's an awesome biomarker called HRV, or heart rate variability. And it's not how many times your heart beats in a second, but what the frequency is, what the evenness of the frequency of your heartbeat is. And that can be affected by food sensitivities, and it can be affected by poor digestion and vagus nerve function. And so you can hit it from all four ways. And the fourth way is directly training heart rate variability. So there's an awesome device out there called an M-Wave, which I strongly recommend people get. It's a really great device. I was off my meditation for about 3 weeks. I just got lazy, and I've started to come back to it and use that device. And man, my days are so much better. So get the M-Wave, and then you can come at it hitting heart rate variability by removing foods you're sensitive to, and also supplementation, which is super cool. So I'm gonna take another dunk. So you don't have to start like this, and don't start like this. This is a brutal way to do it. It is, however, the most beneficial way to do cold exposure. So Start with 30 seconds in your shower. Just at the end of the shower, you turn it all the way cold. And then if you want to level up from there, you can just start doing a full cold body exposure. But if you want something that's really easy to start with, you can start with dunking just your head and your face in an ice bowl for, you know, however long you can hold your breath, kind of. Don't burn your face with ice at a time. Because when you put your face in the ice bowl, it also tones the vagal nerve, as does doing a full body exposure. So when you do the full body exposures, just be ready. So, whew. Alright, I'm gonna call this a day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.